Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am shopping my shelves and also kind of sharing with you my current reads, and then also like the shopping my shelves part is kind of my current TBR. I'm definitely a mood reader, so I'm not holding myself to these choices. It's basically what looks interesting to me right now. Some of these are rereads, some of them are new reads. We'll go through all of that as we go along with the video. But if you guys are interested in seeing what is on my current TBR, then please keep watching. So as I said before, some of these are rereads and some of these are new to me reads. We'll start first with the fiction that I am choosing. So the first book that I'm choosing is it's called Surprise Me by Sophie Kinsella. Now, back in my 20s, like all through my 20s, Sophie Kinsella was actually one of my favorite authors, and I haven't read any of like her newer stuff. Well, I shouldn't say newer, but I have reread a lot of the books that I read in my 20s from her, but I haven't read anything like new to me since then. So this is new to me, and I'm super excited about this one. Let me read to you guys what it is about. It says, from Sophie Kinsella, #1 New York Times bestselling author, comes a witty and emotional charged novel that delves into the heart of a marriage and how those we love and know best can sometimes surprise us the most. After 10 years together, Sylvie and Dan have a comfortable home, fulfilling jobs, and beautiful twin girls, and they communicate so seamlessly they finish each other's sentences. They have a happy marriage and believe they know everything there is to know about each other, until it's casually mentioned to them that they could be together for another 68 years, and then panic sets in. They decide to bring surprises into their marriage to keep it fresh and fun, but in their pursuit of Project Surprise Me, from unexpected gifts to restaurant dates to sexy photo shoots, mishaps arise, with disastrous and comical results. Gradually, surprises turn to shocking truths. And when a scandal from the past is uncovered, they begin to wonder if they ever really knew each other at all. With a colorful cast of eccentric characters, razor-sharp observations, and her signature wit and charm, Sophie Kinsella presents a humorous yet moving portrait of a marriage, its intricacies, comforts, and complications. Surprise Me reveals that hidden layers in a close relationship are often yet to be discovered. So I'm super excited about this one. Sophie Kinsella, I really enjoy her writing style. She's very comical. So even though it sounds like there could be some heavy subjects in this book, I'm sure it's going to still be like light and comical. So I decided to pull that one, and then to go along with that, I decided to pull my Breakfast at Tiffany's bookmark. It looks like that. In case you guys didn't know, I do collect bookmarks, so that is the one that goes along with that. Next is a reread, and with this one, this is actually in my top, honestly, it's probably in my top 3 books of all time, and I have reread this one many, many times, but I've never gone through and annotated one of my copies, so I'm going to do it with this one, and it is The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood by Rebecca Wells. And it looks like that. I'm sure a lot of you have probably read this, and then I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen the movie. I will say that the movie, I mean, everybody always says this, but like, I mean this like to the depth of my soul. The movie does not even scratch the surface on this book. In fact, the movie, I almost have to just look at it as like a completely separate thing. Like, there are some similarities, but to me, the movie is almost like it's a completely different story, because it almost irritates me. I can't believe an author would let someone take their work of art and like change so much and make it into a movie. I don't know. So the book is so much better. So if you haven't read the book, I highly encourage you to. It says, when Vivi and Sidley Walker, an unforgettable mother-daughter team, get into a savage fight over a New York Times article that refers to Vivi as a tap-dancing child abuser, the fallout is felt from Louisiana to New York to Seattle. Sidley, a successful theater director with a huge hit on her hands, panics and postpones her upcoming wedding to her lover and friend Connor McGill. Vivi's intrepid gang of lifelong girlfriends, the Yayas, sashay in and conspire to bring everyone back together. In 1932, Vivi and the Yayas were disqualified from a Shirley Temple look-alike contest for unladylike behavior. 60 years later, they're bucking 70 and still making waves. They persuade Vivi to send Sita a scrapbook of girlhood mementos entitled The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. With the scrapbook in hand, Sita retreats to a cabin on Washington State's Olympic Peninsula. Tormented by fear and uncertainty about the future, and intent on discovering the key to the tangle of anger and tenderness she feels towards her mother. But Vivi's album reveals more questions than answers and leads Sita to encounter the legacy of imperfect love and the unknowable mystery of life. With passion and a rare gift for language, Rebecca Wells moves from present to past, unraveling Vivi's life, her enduring friendships with the Yayas, and their reverberations on Sitaly. The collective power of the Yayas, each of them totally individual and authentic, permeates this story of a tribe of Louisiana wild women who are impossible to tame. So this book has got so many things in it that are like favorites for me in books. Number one, it takes place in the South. I love anything that takes place in the South. I just love the culture of the South, and especially when it's like Old South, which a lot of this takes place like in the past. So I love that. The other thing about this book that I absolutely love is it's about a tribe of women that are super, super close friends. They're such close friends that they're basically family. In fact, they're such close friends that they're actually closer than family. They are family. And I love that in a book. I have noticed that I tend to gravitate towards books that are about like really, really close female friendships. And I think part of that is because I've never truly experienced that, but it's something that I've longed for like so long in my life. Is just to have a group of really, really close girlfriends that like you can count on for anything, that are showing up at your house in the middle of the day unannounced, like in their pajamas, and it's totally normal, or you can call them at 2:00 in the morning if something's going wrong. Like I love stories with a group of women like that. So, and this book definitely has that. So for this book, I decided to go with this bookmark. And then for annotating, I decided to go with these colors of tabs. And then I'll use like the markers to kind of go along with that. Next up is a new to me read. And this is one that has been out for a while, and I think everybody has read it except for me. And it is the Twisted Love series, and it's the first book, which is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Is it Huang? Wang? I don't know. And it says, "You are the light to my dark sunshine. Without you, I'm lost. Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuit for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest, a crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Ava Chen is a simple, free-spirited, trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear." So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It is, like I said, the first book in a series. I think there's 4 books in the series. So if I like this, I'll obviously be looking to get the other books in the series. So definitely looking forward to that one. And for that book, I decided to pull a peacock bookmark. And the way that I do this too, like, because like as I showed you, like the new to me reads, I'm not annotating those. I generally will read a book for the first time, and if I like it enough to keep it, then when I do a reread, I'll annotate it. I don't generally take a book from the get-go and start annotating it, just because if I don't like it and I want to get rid of it, obviously people are not going to want my markings all in it if I get rid of it. So second reads or, rereads, I guess, is when I start annotating. So that's why only the one book so far is being annotated. Okay, so next, these are the books that I picked for right now. And honestly, I may be reading like all three in tandem, like at the same time. I'm not necessarily somebody who can only read one thing at a time. I tend to get bored easily, so I'll probably start all of those very, very soon. And then I also wanted to pull some books that are like non-fiction, like some cookbooks is what I ended up. And there's actually one that's got not only recipes, but also like craft and seasonal ideas. So now we'll go through those. So the first one is called Retro Barbecue, and this one is by Linda Everett. In fact, I have an entire stack of like the retro series, but that's what this one is. And I just thought this one would be really, really fun with summer starting and everything. And it says tasty recipes for the grilling guy. Well, obviously I'm not a grilling guy, but I still think I'm going to enjoy it. And there's just all sorts of cool recipes in here, but then also just like vintage photos. So I just think this is going to be like a good time to go through. Like there's a whole chapter on hot dogs with, you know, the vintage photos and like, I don't know. I thought I would get some good ideas out of that one. Next up is another cookbook, and this one is called Just a Matter of Time, a simple collection of satisfying recipes by Roxie, Kelley, and Friends. It looks like this. And again, it's a cookbook, but it's very, like, the illustrations are beautiful. So a lot of, like, these, I have a few more in this series also. It reminds me a lot of the Susan Branch books because it's just so artistically done. Like, all the recipes have, you know, beautiful illustrations with them. So I figured this would be another one that's going to be really, really fun to just kind of flip through. Next up, I have more from Magnolia. This is recipes from the world famous bakery and Allysa Torey's home kitchen. So Magnolia Bakery is in New York City, and there's some of the pictures. Now this one doesn't really have like illustrations or anything in it. It's just recipes. Well, I think, is there a section with pictures? I thought there was. Maybe not. Oh, wait, yeah. So, I mean, they do have like a center section with color pictures. But honestly, more than anything, this is definitely for the recipes. I'm a dessert person, so I think this is going to be really good. I think I've made like 2 recipes out of here, but it was a long time ago. So I need to like re-find those recipes in here and then also try some of the ones that I haven't tried yet. And then next, speaking of Susan Branch, is The Summer Book by Susan Branch. Again, I love her style. I love the pictures. It's just, I don't know, very artistic. So obviously I will be looking to see if there's any recipes in here that I want to try. But even more than that, I just am going to enjoy flipping through this and looking at the illustrations and, you know, just getting inspiration for summer out of this book. Plus, she always has like cool quotes and little tiny ideas on the pages and everything too. So I think that's going to be fun. And then the last nonfiction book that I decided to pull is Celebrate the Seasons by Gooseberry Patch. So this has recipes, but then also like craft ideas and decorating ideas and all of that for all 4 seasons. And the reason for that is because obviously I want to see if I can find some things for, you know, summer, like spring, summer, for, you know, the weather that is currently upon us. But I'm always thinking ahead to autumn and Christmas because those are just my favorite. I am an autumn girly through and through. So it can be, you know, like it can be the 5th of November and I'm already counting down to Halloween next year. That's just who I am at my core. So again, it's going to be good to get some ideas for like right now, but then also to kind of flip through and get some ideas and start planning for autumn and Christmas with this one. And these have a lot of, you know, it's actual photographs, but some like different craft ideas and like holiday ideas and things like that. So I think that one is going to be super enjoyable. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is what I am actually currently reading. Right now, I'm actually currently reading 2 different books. So I'll just kind of go through and tell you what they are. And I don't know. I don't usually like to give book reviews just because I feel like reading is such a personal thing, and I could love a book, like absolutely love it, and you could read it and I think it's just complete crap. And I feel like when you read something, it really just depends on like things you've been through in your life, your hopes, your dreams. All of that can impact what you like to read. So I don't like to give reviews because, like I said, I could tell you that it's no good and you may love it. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm reading. I'll tell you a little bit about like the tidbits of how I'm feeling about it or whatever, but I'm not going to dive deep into like a review or anything. So this first one is a reread. So I'm actually in the process of annotating this, and it is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. And this is a romance novel. It's definitely an age gap novel because it is about a girl and she ends up falling in love with her boyfriend's father. I never had, like, age gap doesn't bother me. Like, I, that's like not like something that, it doesn't trigger me or anything like that. I tend to like age gap novels. There are a few things in this though that are a little cringy to me that I just like, well, actually, you know what? Let me read you one because let's see if I can find it. Yes, here it is. Okay. So she ends up, this is before they actually get together. And okay, so they get into an argument about something and they're not together yet. And the girl gets mad and she kind of like walks away and she's like, "Yes, daddy," like sarcastically. And then it says, like, this is from the dad's perspective. He says, "I blink long and hard, my hand tingling with an urge to give someone a spanking for the first time in my life." Okay, I read that and seriously, I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Like, that type of stuff is cringy to me. Cringy. Like, it just, oh gosh, that is so not, like, that's cringy. But the majority of the book I am really, really enjoying so far. So, yeah, so that's what I am currently like reading and annotating. And then the other book that I am reading, and this is the first time that I've ever read this, so I'm not annotating it. It is A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. I pulled this one because I was in such an autumn mood. Like I just said, I'm like an autumn girl through and through. So I am in the mood for autumn books all through the year. In fact, there's an autumn book that I really, really want to buy and read, and I'll probably do that soon, so you guys will see that. But anyway, I pulled this one because it's, supposed to be about witches, and I figured I would get some, like, good autumn vibes. And I am a little over halfway in. Like, I'm on page 259, and there are, how many pages are in this? There's 483 and a half. I mean, that's the last page. It's just got that little blurb. So 483 pages basically. And there are some really good autumn vibes, and there are parts of it that I'm really enjoying. But what I'm struggling with right now is, like, I still, halfway through it, I'm still not really truly understanding the plot. And maybe the plot isn't like supposed to be like this big dramatic plot. I mean, basically all this is about so far is literally just the lineage of this like family of women and how they continue to carry on like being witches. But there's really not a plot. I mean, maybe that is the plot, that they're just continuing on, because I mean, it is called A Secret History of Witches. So maybe this is just like the line, the lineage. I don't know, but it's not, I don't know. Most books, there's like a plot to it and you see what the goal is, and you know what I mean? And sometimes there's a struggle to get to the goal. And like, this is literally just going through and like, this person, is a witch and she ended up having a daughter, and they wanted to know if that daughter would carry on the, trait of being a witch. And then she was, and then she had a daughter. Like, so there's not a lot of action going on. like I said, I do appreciate some of like the like autumn vibes and everything from it, but I'm kind of at this point, you know, halfway through, I'm still kind of like undecided whether I really like this book. There's nothing wrong with it. There's not anything in it that's like cringy or anything like that, but it's yeah, it's just very like streamlined. It's very like I don't know, there's just no action, I guess. I don't know. So I like it, but I'm not it's definitely not a 5-star read for me at this point. So yeah, we'll see. But that is everything, you guys. That's everything that I'm wanting to read. That's everything that I'm currently reading. Let me know in the comments down below what you are currently reading. Also, let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. If you have any recommendations for me, any of that good stuff, I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you next time.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down.